This little black girl, she dropped her shoe. Her shoe fell. You know, me, little white boy, I was like, hey, I'll help you. I grabbed her shoe and I threw it at her. And it smacked her in the face. The shoe smacked her in the face and she almost fell off and just clapped her right in her face. Me and my homie were... Listen, I had cancer as a kid. Y'all know this. I had cancer as a kid. So, I also had a tutor as a child. I had a kindergarten teacher. I never went to kindergarten because while I was in kindergarten, I had cancer. So I didn't go to kindergarten. So really, I had a at-home tutor who came to my house and they were supposed to teach me and stuff and, you know, educate me and whatnot. While I was, you know, dying of cancer type shit. But really what happened was, and I don't blame them, you know, because like I was that motherfucker as a kid, but like we didn't do any educating. We sat around and I played video games. I remember I would just play GTA San Andreas while they sat next to me on the couch. And I'm fucking 4 years old, running people over in a game, shooting people, fucking slapping strippers with dildos type shit. And they're just sitting next to me on the couch. And you know what's crazy? As a kid, like, that motherfucker was like, they were getting paid. They were getting paid to do that. Yo, Wizzy. Hey, I was lurking your stream for a bit. Good energy on there. Hey, yo, Wizzy. Wizzy, you know what's crazy? We actually have somebody else named Wizzy on here. W Wizzy. I assume you just dropped a follow. I don't know what you did or not, but hopefully you dropped a follow. Yeah, W Wizzy, dude. Appreciate the, oh, hey. Yo, whoa, there's a little echo right there. W Wizzy though, appreciate the good looks. He's at, what did W Wizzy? I don't even though if y'all will see this message. I saw it. I'm also streaming. Always cool connecting with other creators. Wizzy, what do you stream? But yeah, so long story short, you know, I failed out of, I didn't go to kindergarten because I had cancer. Keep up the great work. Yes, you too, bro. You too. Failed out of kindergarten, or didn't go to kindergarten because I had cancer. I had a tutor. I didn't even learn anything. I just played GTA San Andreas, slap strippers with dildos. So I went to another school. Banco said he's back. I went to another school where we're going to drive by and we're going to go to the playground there. 30-year-old man goes to the playground with camera. Okay. We're going to go to the playground there. That was the first time I went to school. So I went to first grade. That was the only time I ever went to school was first grade. Didn't go to kindergarten or preschool, none of that. So then in first grade, you know, I was doing my thing and I learned to read. I remember when I learned to read, needed a tutor because he had a tumor. So I learned to read because it was like, I learned to read Green Eggs and Ham and I was so happy. And I remember like showing my teacher, I was like standing next to my teacher and I was like reading the book. I was like, I can read. And then I remember like reading to my dad and shit like that. And I was like, I can read type shit. But in the end, I passed. Can you do a 360? I want to see the nature of America. Yeah, I got you. So in the end, I passed first grade, but I had all D's. I had all D's and all D's nuts, you know, but I had all D's. So my mom decided, and because where my birthday landed, technically I was like the youngest person in my grade, or like the second or third youngest person in my grade. And so what my mom did, she decided to hold me back. And so technically I failed first grade. She held me back even though I passed and then had me do first grade again. And like, I used to shop at Aldi's. Aldi's is a W. And so when she held me back in first grade, I then came here. This is where I had school first through fifth grade. So I had first, second, third, and fourth grade in this school. But then they actually had fucking trailers over here, which is funny as hell. They had trailers over here, and that's where I had my fifth grade because, I don't know, they were expanding or some bologna or something like that. So like, this is the old stomping grounds. This is the old stomping grounds. Where was the tumor? I didn't have tumor. Damn, that school is huge. Now, I'll show you a bigger school. This is actually the fact that they could even fit an entire town's worth of first, second, third, fourth, and fifth graders here is mind-blowing. This is not a big school. Can I like peer into, you know, can I peer inside, or is this kind of like, I'm not breaking anything and I'm not entering. And technically my taxes do pay for this. Yep. So I remember one time my buddy, he bet me that I couldn't eat a thing of butterscotch, and I ate it in here. It was a thing of butterscotch, and then he owed me. Low-key looks kind of depressing. I mean, yeah, this is middle America, Benko. This is straight up middle America. It's like, is it the greatest thing ever? No. But is it the worst thing ever? No. Like, some of these people have beautiful homes and they have a car and they work their job and their kids go to school and it's just life, you know, but it's not anything spectacular, you know, and maybe it doesn't have to be. It looks like a prison. Good morning. Good morning. We're going on a journey to look at my previous schools. So yeah, like I said, there was another school where I went to first grade, failed, and I went first through fifth here. There was one time, so they actually redid all of this playground that I remember, but it was in fifth grade, and we were over here in the trailers, and it was like the last day of fifth grade, and I came out here, and me and my buddy Frank, we were hanging out, and so like we're playing and shit, and actually there used to be like a big ginormous playground type thing right here. And any good memories from the playground? Well, here, listen to this. So it was the last day, and there was a big playground thing like kind of right here, and me and my buddy, we were playing under it, and this little black girl, she dropped her shoe. Her shoe fell. She was up here and it fucking fell. Not here, right here. Like I said, big playground thing here, but she was like right here and her shoe fell. And you know, me, little white boy, I was like, hey, little black girl, I'll help you. I grabbed her shoe and I threw it at her. I went like this. I was like, here's your shoe. And it smacked her in the fucking face. The shoe smacked her in the face and she almost fell off. I literally went, here, and it just went and just clapped her right in her face. Me and my homie were like, and we got the fuck up out of there, bro. We got the fuck up out of there. And like, I low-key felt bad. Like, I didn't mean to throw it and smack her in the face. Where's the school gym? There is no school gym. This is a straight a stone floor with 4x4 prison looking school. I remember shitting my pants in first grade and I had to make it through the whole day. In that little part that is heightened, I'd think. Where is the gym school? Oh yeah, you know what's actually crazy? Where is the gym? Oh, you know what? It's here. It's here. It's this right here. Yeah, it's small, but yeah, 100% it's right there. Fuck you mean no gym? I had to think about it. So yeah, bro. I mean, this is where I spent fucking 5 years posted up. You know what I mean? Type sheet. Hold on. Let me get some reps. You went the whole day with shit on your ass. I don't want to go to work. I just left work, Berg. LMAO. Berg's over here having to go to work and shit. But yeah, dude, 0 reps, 0. What do you mean 0 rep, bro? Did you see the width of that? That 100% was full reps. Look, guys, we can all go sit on the buddy bench because y'all are my buddies. Y'all are my buddies. Come take a seat. Welcome to the buddy bench. But yeah, bro, it's just crazy to think, like, I don't think I've spent 5 years anywhere in my life. And it's just crazy that 5 years of my life I spent here. You know, I spent, you know, almost right now, basically more than a sixth of my life going to this school. You know? And so this place is actually, this place is right down the road from where I lived. I probably live like a mile or so or whatever. And like, you know, some of the kids, like the kids that live here, they walk to school every fucking day. But like, I remember the days where I would walk to school and we'd like run through people's backyards and shit and hop fences to like walk to school type shit. And yeah, those were some good days for sure. Did your school at least have some football to play with the grass? Update on my phone, I'm dead. Who you want AI there? Who I want here on my buddy bench, I want all you guys there. For us in Germany, it is just 4 years before switching school. Well, how many years total is like normal public school in Germany? So America, it's 12 years. And so you do 9th through 12th in high school, and then we had 6th through 8th in middle school, and then we had 1st through 5th in elementary school. So it might be the other way, like your middle school might be like 5th through 8th, and that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of like greenery and around here. So yeah, I remember there being like soccer balls and shit and blah, blah, blah. And actually, funny enough, right here, this is where they would make us run like the mile. So you had to run like, I think it was like 4 laps or some shit like that, and it was a mile. Oh, y'all do 13 years? That's wild. But yeah, definitely had some fun times running around here as a little kid, fucking getting shit done. You know, I had homies that like lived like right down the road type shit, and you know, I'd kick it with them. And then actually after I went into high school and even after I graduated, one of my best homies, he lived right down the road, but I don't fuck with him anymore because he's a fucking stingy bitch. But yeah, bro, should we climb this? I kind of want to climb this, and then let's get to the next place. I don't really know what this is, bro. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do here. Low-key playgrounds are great, but it's also like, this shit's like low-key kind of dangerous. Like maybe I'm just an old fucking man, but like a kid fall on this bitch, he busts his ass up for real, bro. I honestly think, which they kind of have it here, but yeah, I think every playground should have some sort of like physical like activity replicator. So like, is it gonna be a dip machine, or is it gonna be hold on. Oh my God, farted like crazy. Is it gonna be a dip machine? Is it gonna be I got 500 subs online, download Mecha Chameleon. No, my sister's 10 years old and same school with my brother, 18 years old. That's kind of crazy. Shit, there's a slide here. All right, let's get the hell up out of here before someone calls the cops on a 30-year-old playing at a playground with a camera. So yeah, dude, this is where we did the first 5 years. Imagine a 5th grader getting bullied by a 13 grader. That's deep. Yeah, that is crazy. I remember when I was a bit younger, they did only have, you know what's actually funny too? And I think maybe you just have a smaller town realistically, but my graduating class. So how about this? Everybody, yeah, grade 13 isn't a thing here. But everybody drop how much their graduating class was. I feel like getting bullied is a personal problem. You choose to get bullied. That's actually a crazy statement, especially based off of the conversation we were having earlier, Laced. That's a crazy statement. You know, some people just don't have the strength to stand up to a bully. Remember? But it also is their fault. But it's also like, you know, how can you blame a 4-year-old? I would rather blame an adult rather than a 4-year-old. But what was the size of everybody's graduating class? When I graduated high school, my 12th grade class that we graduated was 600 people. I would have graduated, but I dropped out. You dropped out of high school? Do you have your GED? But that just goes to show why we needed so many, so many schools. And I actually forgot about this, and we're talking about like how many schools and shit like that. You had, Spendy, you're a fucking liar. You had 7 people or 700? But we were talking about schools just now and shit, but like actually our high school is broken up into 2 schools.